Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now today's video is going to be another model railway renovation build video, and this video will be concerning the level crossing scene in front of you. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made and did all of this. So let's go back in time around a month ago to when I first started this scene. Alright, so to make this road and level crossing there's a few things we'll need. So what I'm going to be using for the actual road surface is this stuff here, a multi-purpose filler. You can just get this stuff from your local Bunnings. It's relatively inexpensive and I've used it before on other areas of layout and it's absolutely fine. We'll need some level crossing gates of course, so I've opted for the train builder ones. These are really nice and you can actually wire them up underneath with the wires that are included. So got them, and then got some Atlas picket fence, and then of course we need some signage. So I've got some signs here made by the Train Girl, and if you haven't heard of her before then you should definitely check out her website and social media, which I'll leave a link to in the description. She makes all kinds of different signage in HO scale for your layouts and dioramas, and yeah, they're fantastic. We've got a few of these kicking about the layout already, so definitely recommend the Train Girl. I just had a little look through my spares sources and found some styrene tube, so that will be useful. And then we also need some paving tape to help with paving the road. And of course there will be other things that will be used throughout the video. So anyways, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off by making this road. What I've done off camera, I did this yesterday. I've ripped up all the old scenery here and then I've just given it a coat of brown just as like a base layer to work on. So we can now get a start on making up our road. So what I've got here is a scrap block of foam just with some pencils pushed in, and the distance from here to here is exactly 8 centimeters, which is what I'm after. I'm modelling a rural road, country rural road, 2-lane road that is, so it's probably not going to see very much traffic, so I don't want this road to look super duper immaculate or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to go for with this road. So the idea with this is you can just place it here like that, and then basically draw your road, and the distance between both lines will be exactly the same. So I'm going to keep going at that, and I'll be back once it's done. Okay, so with the lines now drawn, I've got the paving tape pack here, and I've just taken this bit out as a dispenser. So what I like about this paving tape kit is that it comes with a included spreader, which is nice, so that way we can get nice smooth roads. So I'm going to do a time lapse of me laying all the paving tape, and you'll see how I do it. Okay, so with the paving tape all laid, as you can see I've got my road here now. I'm not filling in this area just yet because there's actually going to be an incline that goes from here up to the edge there, so that way cars from here can access the road. So I still have to figure out how I'm going to do that, but in the meantime what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all this area with the filler here. So anyways, let's do that. Okay, so a bit of time later and I've now put the filler down. As you can see I've gone right over the tracks this time round. I remember when I had the previous level crossing here, it was a plastic ramp and then all this was all plastic. I've decided to go with the filler this time just to make it all look a bit more realistic, a bit more even. So yep, that's why I've gone with that. I'm going to leave this for a few days to dry now, particularly this area here where it's a little bit more thicker. I want that to dry fully hard before I sand it, that is. So I'll probably come back in a few days time and then we'll get on with the sanding. Alright, so I figured whilst we're waiting for the road surface to dry, what we're going to do is we're actually going to start on the signage. So signs, as I said at the start of the video, are made by the Train Girl, who I'll leave a link to in the description so you can check out all their products. I've got some of the Atlas picket fence here, and then I've got some styrene tubing that we're going to use. Now in terms of the signage, I've taken some inspiration from a few other level crossings around Victoria, so this one here hopefully it can come up alright on camera. This one is in Mornington. This is actually Waroola Drive, I think that's how you say it. There is, if you look at the phone here, as you can see, you got the picket fence with the railway and then the zebra stripe, and then on the other side we have some like steel tubes. So that's where wherever I put it, our piece of styrene will come in. Those are our steel tubes, and then we'll do the same thing, zebra stripe and then the crossing. And then we've also got a few other bits and pieces of signage there, so we'll make sure to model that. And then as well as that one, there's also this one here, it's another one. This one's actually local to me, same sort of story. We got the railway and then the zebra stripe on both sides. This one is also on some steel tubing, although I'm going to put my one on the fence, and then another one that's local to me is this one here. As you can see, this one's also on a fence, and then this one here is on some steel tubing. So they're all roughly the same. So this is the sort of thing I want to go with, and yeah, hopefully it should look pretty nice once it's done. So let's get on with it. Alright, so we're now ready to start making the picket fence detail. So to glue the signs on, I'm just going to be using a bit of super glue. Seems to work absolutely fine. So we'll start off on the end here where the zebra stripe goes. A little bit of super glue there, a bit too much actually. And just looking at the photos that I've taken, looks like the zebra stripe, it overhangs a little bit, like that. And then we'll do the railway. Bit of super glue just on here, just a bit on here. Don't really need very much to glue these signs on. And yeah, there we go. That's one done, so I'll do the other one off camera as it's pretty much just the same thing, and we'll get on with doing the other details. Alright, so off camera here I've just made up the other signs for the sides that don't have the boom gates on them. So the picket fence sides, these will be in front of the boom gates, so these ones will go in front here like that. And then these ones go on the other side where there's no boom gates. So anyways, I'm going to let those all dry, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the poles silver, and then that will be these ones done. Okay, so a few hours have passed now, and these signs here I've now just finished. I've literally just put the matte varnish on those, so they're just drying at the moment. These ones here are all done as well. In case I didn't mention before, I decided to add the look for trains sign on there as well. I think that looks pretty good. Those have also been matte varnished as well, just to take away the glossy sheen that the fence comes in. So done that, and yeah, they're pretty much ready to go. These are also pretty much ready to go, just waiting for the matte varnish to dry. So yeah, next thing to do is we can actually move on to painting the road, but I need to wait for the plaster to dry, and then obviously I need to sand it, and then we can paint it. So that will be the next stage. Okay, so it's probably been about a week since I did the filler work here. Now once I applied the first layer of filler, a few cracks did start to appear, so what I've done is I've put a second layer of filler, just a skim layer essentially, just to fill in all those cracks, and it hasn't actually cracked since. Well, actually I just noticed this little bit here, but that's alright. So what we'll do is we'll sand this surface down. Just got some sandpaper here. Just going to do this by hand, and I don't want to achieve like a super duper smooth finish, because after all this is a country road, so there is going to be a few rough bits here and there, but that's alright. I just want to make sure that this crossing area here is nice and smooth, because that's actually where trains need to run over. So yeah, let's get to sanding. Alright, so a bit of mess later. I've now sanded it down. Pretty happy with how it's looking so far, especially the crossing here. So what I need to do now is I need to vacuum up all this, and then once I vacuum it all up, I'll then have a look and see if I need to sand down any more. Okay, so I've just vacuumed off all the excess dust and pretty happy with how this road's looking. Although around the level crossing here, I don't know how well you can see that, probably there's a few cracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some filler and just go over those very small amount, and then that should hopefully be dry by tonight, and then I can sand that down, vacuum it up again, and then cut out the grooves for the wheels. Okay, so this road surface is now nice and dried. All the bits I filled in before have now dried. It's all been sanded and I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. So it's now time to cut the grooves for the wheels of the locomotives and the rolling stock to go through. Now there's two tools you can use. You can either use a craft knife, or if you've got one, a Dremel with a cutting disc. Now I'm using a Dremel with a cutting disc because, well, I've got one, so I may as well use it. And I feel like you can get a much cleaner and also deeper cut using this versus the craft knife. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these grooves and see how it all looks. Okay, so I've cut all the grooves out. So what I've done off camera is I took my lightest wagon and I've tested it through the crossing both ways and seemed to be absolutely fine. So let's test the locomotive out. Alright, so having established that everything's going to run through here with no issues, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to paint this surface here. So I've got these two paints here. These are a matte finish, which is what I'm after. Got myself a paintbrush, and then we've also got a tray to mix it all in. So I want to go for a not so new finish, like a matte. I don't want to go for like a dark finish. I want to go for something like a well-used country road, so not exactly a dark, but not exactly like a medium grey either, so somewhere in between is what I want to do. So I'll mix up some of this paint and we'll get on with painting. Okay, so with the road surface painted, it's looking pretty good so far. I'll probably leave this overnight to dry, and then when I come back to it tomorrow, I'll see if it needs one more coat, but so far it's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is, once this is dry of course, we'll do the road markings.
Alright, so it's been around 5 days since I painted the road surface, and it's obviously fully dry since I painted it. I've done various testing off camera, and it's all working fine still, which is nice. Now it's time to paint the road markings now. I would have done this a few days ago, but unfortunately at the time of filming this, I actually came down with a cold. You can probably tell from my voice at the moment, I'm still not 100%, but I'm well enough to do the rest of this video. But anyways, that's enough of me. So we're going to paint the road markings now, and the traditional way you could do it is a bit of masking tape, a pot of paint, and a paintbrush. Now that's obviously a very time consuming way of doing it, so what I've decided to do is I've actually decided to use a paint pen here. Now I saw Richard from Everard Junction used a paint pen on his station car park, the video that he made from that, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll give that a go for my road here. So I'm going to do some marking out, and then we'll get these road markings painted. Alright, so I've done all the white lines. Now I will be honest, they are a little bit crooked. They're not all perfectly straight and in line with each other. Now I was using this block of wood as like a ruler, but other than that, they turned out alright. I'm pretty happy with them. So the next thing to do is do the big rectangle that goes in front of the boom gates. So we'll let those dry, and then we'll get on with doing that one. Alright, so a little bit of time has actually passed since since the last clip. So I've actually done a little bit of work since that last clip. I've added the white rectangles that go in front of where the boom gates will be, and then I've also added a couple of like patch repairs. So there's two small ones here, and there's a big one all the way down there. So yep, those are looking quite good. So we're now pretty much ready to seal in the road, and to do that I'm going to be using some matte varnish. Alright, so the matte varnish in question that we'll be using is this stuff here, made by Mr. Hobby. It's called Mr. Super Clear UV Cut, and this stuff, I've been using this stuff for a couple of months now, and it's actually really good stuff. If you're after a matte varnish that dries, well, pretty much matte, doesn't have a like a gloss sheen to it still, then this stuff is definitely the stuff to go for. With the old matte varnish I used to use, which was just something from Bunnings, whilst it dried matte, it still had like a gloss sheen to it, which I didn't really like. But ever since using this stuff dries ultra matte, and with this one being the UV cut, it's supposedly UV resistant, so it will protect whatever it is that you've painted from fading from the sun. So yeah, that's quite good. So anyways, let's matte varnish this road. Alright, so that's the matte varnish now applied to the road surface, and of course whenever you're doing any sort of spraying, make sure you make the room well ventilated. So I opened up the windows that are in the garage here, so there'll be some nice ventilation coming in here. So we'll let this dry, and then I'll move on to doing putting in the details around the road. Alright, so with the road now complete, we can now focus on installing the level crossing lights and barriers here that we've got. So what I'm going to do is I want to have a concrete square in this sort of area to put the boom gates on. Now I could cut that out with some plastic card and paint it up and glue it on there, But I thought since I'm going above and beyond with this level crossing, I might as well replicate the concrete square that goes here, just with the filler here that I've used for the road surface. So pretty much I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did here, just do a little square with the paving tape here, and then put a little bit of filler in. Alright, so we've just done our concrete patches there. So we've got the one just here, it's a bit hard to see on camera, and then we've got the one just right here. So those shouldn't take too long to dry, so hopefully by this evening we can peel off the tape and then paint those up. So yeah, looking pretty good so far. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed since the previous clip. I have sanded down the concrete pads of where the boom gates will sit. So I've sanded those and I have painted them grey, so they're looking pretty good. I've also painted the surroundings where the pads are and also the road. As you can see, I've painted those a fresh coat of brown there. It's still drying at the moment. I literally did that like 5 minutes ago, so they're still drying. I did that all off camera, so as you've probably seen me do it before. But what we're going to do next is we're actually going to do the scenery. So we're going to start, just going to ballast this section of track here, also just ballast this part here. We'll do the greenery, and then we can finish off this scene just by doing the boom gates and also the signage that we prepared earlier on in the video. So let's get on with doing the scenery.
Okay, so I've just done the base model, or the base layer of scenery. So as you saw on camera, I did this, and then I also did that bit, and then that bit there, pretty much the same as how I did here. So that's all drying at the moment. The ballast is drying pretty good. It is going to take a few days to dry. I actually did the ballast last night, and then I've just finished doing this. So what we'll do is we'll let all of this dry, and then we can get on with do the static grass, and then once the static grass is done, we can then put the level crossing boom gates in and all the other details. Now, when I did the ballasting, the paint that I used on these concrete pieces actually started peeling away, even though I've clear coated these, which is kind of interesting. So I'll have to get these fixed up before I put the boom gates in. But it's gone good so far, and yeah, we are on the road to completion of this scene. Okay, so with the base model scene, with the base layer of scenery dry, and also the ballast, it's now time to do the static grass. So I've got my static grass mix in here, and trying out some static grass from this company here. It's called Ground Up Scenery. Now, I don't think I've ever used their products before, so I'm going to give those one to go. And I've just added that with the existing static grass colour I've got, which is a mixture of there's a bit of Woodland Scenics dark green in there, and also I believe a bit of Mini Nature medium green, I believe it was called, static grass in there. So this has just got like a nice sort of blend between dark and light coloured static grass. So that's what we'll be using. Now to glue it down, normally I'd use PVA, but I'm going to give this Mod Podge product a go. Not used it before, so see how it goes, and we'll see if it's any different to just standard PVA glue. Of course, I've got my static grass applicator here, and here we're going to use that to lay down static grass. So yeah, let's get on with the static grass. Alright, so as you can see, I've now got the static grass down. It's all still wet at the moment, it just needs to dry overnight, but it's looking pretty good so far. Now it is a little bit on the light side compared to the other areas. I'll be adding a bit of darker coloured scatter, so I'll just sprinkle it over the top in various different areas just to create a bit of variation, I guess. So that'll look quite good. I'll do that off camera. But yeah, we are nearing the final stages of this particular scene here. I should also mention I repainted the little concrete pads that the boom base will sit on, as they did get damaged when I did the ballast work, but they're all repaired now and they're just drying at the moment. But yeah, it's all looking quite good now. So yeah, we're on the home stretch to getting this particular scene complete. So next up we can actually install the boom gates and the signage around it. Alright, so we are nearing the end of this particular scene. So right now the focus is adding the further details. So we got all the bulk of the work done, so we got all the scenery work done. Now it's just those little details. So obviously we're going to add the signage that we made around the sort of start of the video. We've also got the boom gates to add. I'm going to be having a line side fencing on both sides, so I've gone with the Pico one. I'm going to add some bushes here and there, just some small ones, so using some of these which I have left over from a Woodland Scenics tree building kit, so we can use those. And then of course, on the subject of trees, we need to add some trees. And you use these ones here, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we've got 5 packs of different trees. Now I should also point out that these trees are made by Ron Kavanagh, and you can actually buy these trees from Will James Railways, who is the distributor of these trees. So I'll leave a link to Will's YouTube channel and also his website in the description. And on his website he has all the model trees that you see in front of you, as well as many different other types of trees. And you should also check out his other merchandise that he sells. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that in the description, along with everything I've got here in the description. So anyways, let's start adding all this stuff. And just like that, viewers, the level crossing scene is now complete. About a month later, I am thrilled with how this whole scene has turned out. Now, you'll notice that the wiring for the boom gates is not wired up, so you'll probably be able to see here actually the exposed wires. Now I'm going to leave it like that for now until I get a level crossing flasher detector unit. I know which one I need to buy, so it's just a case of when I buy that I'll wire up this these boom gates. But anyways, I'm so thrilled with how this scene turned out. It's definitely a vast improvement to the previous one that I used to have here. For those who are wondering, I used to actually have a level crossing in this area. If you look back on my channel very early on, you probably would have seen it. I then got rid of that level crossing scene and replaced it for the disused signal box scene that I used to have in this area here. But obviously now I've done all the work to the layout, I wanted to put a level crossing back in, and I knew that I wanted this one to be a night and day difference compared to the first one. I mean, the first one was alright, but all it was just a bit of plasticard going over the track, and then the rest of it was plaster, and there was a very noticeable join between where the plaster met the plasticard. So I figured with this one I'll do it all as plaster, and it's definitely paid off. It just looks so much nicer. So anyways, I'll leave a link to all the products used in the description below, so check them out if you're interested. So that's the boom gates, the signage, the fences, the trees, the grass bushes, everything. I'll leave a link to all that in the description, so you can check that out all yourself. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section below. I of course look forward to reading your comments on what you think of this particular scene. So with that said, thanks for watching, and of course I'll see you all in my next video. Take care, stay safe, and of course, have a nice day. Bye everyone.